So in this video we're going to have a look at installing a dashcam. I've already got mine installed, but we're going to have a look at how it's done. A few people on the page have asked about doing it, so we'll have a go. So first thing you want to do is remove your shifter. Anything you've got in the vents, and a good idea is to put your foot brake on tight and press your shift lock button and put it into neutral. If you haven't got a shift lock button, if that's dropped down, we can have a look at how to do that. But the other way to get it into neutral is to start your engine in park, put it into neutral and then turn your engine off, but make sure you've got your foot brake on tight. So there's no screws holding this whole section in, it's just clips. I tend to start at the bottom. You can kind of get your nails in under. If you can't get your nails into there, you can use the inside of the bins to get some purchase, but you can usually just generally you can use trim removal tools, and they're a good idea. But if you can get stuff out of the way with your fingers, they're obviously the least likely to cause any damage to plastic trims, and these are all polished so that they do damage quite easily. So work your way around, pull it forward, and the reason why you have it in neutral is that it won't come out when it's in park because it touches the top, whereas you can kind of jiggle it around the gate, as it were, to get to where you want it to be. Now behind here there'll be plugs. There's plugs on the back of the climate control and clock. There's a plug on the back of the airbag light, and seatbelt light. There's a plug on the cigarette lighter, and there's also a plug that's your room light and your hazard lights. Although if it's pre-facelift, your room light won't be here, so you'll have less behind on this one. So pull it a little way and then just reach around the back. So that one goes up the way, and on the back of it there's a little spring. Push down there. Same on that side. Just be really careful that these clips don't end up getting on your head unit, scratching it, so just be mindful of that. That's the cigarette lighter one removed, and then it will move further away. And then you've got your climate control and clock ones. And then that comes away. Now don't be put off, that looks pretty dramatic, but it really isn't tricky, isn't complicated. Anyone can do it, just take your time, and that'll get you to this point here. There's 4 screws to remove your head unit. So those are your climate control cables, and they went in like that, again with a spring clip on the bottom. So the next part you want to do is pop these screws out. And your head unit can come out. Good idea to do is to stick a towel shifter, so it's not going to scratch anything. And then there's loads of cables in behind. I'll bring you into a closer look. Looking behind here, there's absolutely tons of connectors, and it's just a case of slowly unplugging those to get the head unit out. Just take your time. May or may not have this many connectors on the back. This is a theatre sound, which are going to be spotted by the speaker on the top. It's the easiest way. You also have extra speakers in the roof. These are the ones that's a bit of a nightmare if you want to change the head unit on. I don't know if they have more plugs on the back of the head units than the normal ones or not. I think they possibly do, but a few of these are for like the front camera, back camera. Then there's an amplifier underneath the passenger seat and a subwoofer underneath the driver's seat. It's all controlled through this. But that's what you're removing, all of this. There is all sorts of things that have been tapped into this, TVs and toll car readers and things that I've removed, but it's a good chance while you're in here just have a bit of a tidy up if you want to, and just kind of strip out bits that don't seem to be getting used anymore. But we'll crack into the next step. So next thing I'd recommend you do is underneath here you've got 2 Phillips screws, just like clips, plastic ones. Really gently, just a quarter of a turn and they'll drop down. They're supposed to stay in, but they often drop out, so just be mindful of that, watch where they go. There they go. That's what comes out. Just ease it out with some clips. It only comes out one way, I can't remember which one it is. That's it. So you've got 2 push clips on the back, so you want to pull them forward and out. And then you want to remove the clocks. 3 screws on that. It's not easy to get a good angle on it. Once you've got them 3 screws out, it just tips forwards, and on the top of it you've got your 2 clips that power it up. And you can see what I've done to mine is put tape over where the holes for the speaker are, so it just quietened down the speaker a bit. I've seen some people that have actually taken the speaker off, quite tempted to do that because it does my head in, a constant beeping when you're in reverse or you've left the keys in or you've done anything at all, it beeps at you. So once that's out, you've now got pretty good access. But the reason of doing this is so you can get the cable in from here, which is where you're going to run your power from, and you can run it through here. Now you can, it's probably arguably a better job, is to go straight from the fuse board, and you can get tap-in fuses that you put in and it brings the cable out. But there's enough in behind the head unit, there's enough power going in there, you're not running anything that's stupidly high power. I have running a heads-up display speedo because I haven't had this converted, and also a dash cam off this, and just run that in behind the dash. That's a fairly straightforward way of doing it. The next thing you need to do is to remove this trim here, and this is so you can get access to get the cable to run up and run along the top of the windscreen to where your dash cam wants to go. this is fairly straightforward to remove as well. There's just some covers that go over the screws. Again, less damage caused if you don't go crazy with a slotted screwdriver. It should just come out reasonably easily. These Phillips. Fellas. Now some people might want to take caution on this one because on some of them there's an airbag that runs up here, and you'll have a SRS sign on this bit here, and I generally don't like getting involved in airbags, so I would kind of not get involved in that one. But this one doesn't have airbags in the quarters, no SRS on here. It doesn't have the I think the MZs have that possibly. So that's up to you if you want to do it. I presume the processes are the same. I'm not sure if the MZs, if the ones with the airbags have handles on here. I think they just have a little blanking plate that says SRS on it. But don't quote me on that one, that's just me going for my memory, which isn't always very good. So then this should pop off like that. There's a little plastic trim at the bottom. I think it needs to come up. They're not easy to get back in, I don't find. If anyone has a tip how to get them to go back in, line up, end up messing around with that a lot to get them to work right. And then you've got that out. Now you've got clear access to get cabling neatly up here. You tuck it into where the existing cabling goes, and then run it along the top. I don't suggest dropping your headline in to do this, that's above and beyond. You can just tuck your cable up, push it up along there, which is what I've done. So in amongst here somewhere will be my dashcam cable. Can't remember, I'm wondering now if I did it with the other side, but you can run it up. The other side's the same process to remove it. And now you can get your cable easily through here, and you're not mucking around. You can do a nice job, I think, sometimes to take the stuff out so you can work properly without having to jiggle around. Means you can get wires to go neatly and tidily where you want them to go, and plan your route and try and keep them away from anything that might cause a problem. In my plug, the orangey coloured one here is the switched live. This blue and red one is constant, and this is switched. So if you have a dashcam that you want to run on constant, it's this one, and if you want it to run switched on the ignition, it's this fella here, and you just tap into that wire however you see fit. On this side of the connector, this grey one, which is a funny kind of coating, I think it's been changed, it could be black sometimes, is your earth. Now you can either just use an earth on the car, or you can tap into this earth here as well, and then that's just tapping the power off your head unit. It's more than enough to run a dash cam, and that's your job. So then it's just a case of running your cable that you've done from there through here, across the back of here, through that, out of here, all the way up here, tuck it in the back of here, run it across, and then do your dashcam. Fairly easy. A lot of fiddling, a lot of taking out. It looks dramatic, but it really isn't. If you've played with Lego before, you can do this. Once you've got all your wiring sorted out and tidied up, it's a good time just to make sure that your covering, any covering that you've removed has been put back on and taped up. That just stops the wires rubbing and rattling. And it's a case of making sure that all your head unit cables have not fallen down the back, because you tend to find that you're missing something, like your DVD doesn't play, or play doesn't work, or your reverse camera doesn't work if you've not got them all connected up. Good time as well just to have a bit of a clean around these edges, because they get dust traps in here, and you can have a clear out of your around your gear stick. This bit is hard to clean otherwise, just if you're in there. And what else could we do while we're in here? So you've got all your wiring tidied up through, right up to your dash cam. Check it works before you put it together, which it does. Somewhere in there. And speedo's working as well. Incidentally, if anyone's interested, these cost about £6 off AliExpress. They work fine, gives you clear speedo, and this little sticker here just stops it from being blurry because it's a laminated windscreen, so you tend to get two images. It's kind of okay without it, but it's a million times better with it for clarity. It doesn't really stand out too much. It would be neater to have the dials chipped, but I just haven't bothered. It's fine. So that's that sorted. So we're going to put it all back together now. Make sure nothing's going to rattle against anything. Going to start with this fillet. Start it off with a manual, checking out cross threading. Drive it on with a few other duggers. that's set down. In case anyone's worrying that it's hammering, I've got the torque setting right down so it isn't as bad as it looks. Tight, tight, clipped. This fella hooks under. Bits there. As I said, it takes me ages to get this right. Saying copious amounts of tape on the back of your speedo will shut up the beep a bit more. Copious amounts of tape, fill all the gaps so the sound doesn't get out. You still get a beep, but it's not quite as annoying. And up and under. Three screws. No, I'm not going to put them in with an impact driver. That wouldn't be a good idea, would it? Magnetic screwdriver is a brilliant invention. These things are fiddly. take your head unit out, you probably get 5 more miles to the gallon, because these things weigh a ton. It's just a puzzle of matching the plug with the hole. It's slow to start with, especially if you have it upside down. Check to make sure that there's nothing not plugged in. A couple of empty slots. If your park lock brake button, shift lock, that's the one I'm looking for, isn't working, it's just something that operates that little switch there. And it's this button here, which may have dropped down into there. You can pull that bottom glove box out, or pull the bottom trim out there to get to it if you can see it, but if you can find your little button, it'll be down there if it's come out almost for sure. And basically all that does is just goes into there. Which way around it goes, I do not know. Guess with that line there up against it. That's your park brake. Shift lock. Why do I keep calling it a park brake? Shift lock button. Sorted. And then to put it back in, it's just a case again of finding where everything goes and plugging it all back in. It's annoying because the cables are all a bit on the short side, I think. very chatty today, this lady. I don't know what she's got to say for herself, but she's telling me all sorts. Must be Christmas. The thing you've got to check is you've got power going into where your passenger seatbelt light is, power going into your cigarette lighter, 3 into the back of your climate control, 1 into where your hazard lights are, or room lights as well on the facelift, and that's it. And then it's a case of jiggling it back, don't force it. Find that moving your gear selector around means you can get it into a position where it's happy. And just sometimes you need to just stretch it around the edge unit a bit. Set your clock. Realise it's lunchtime and I'll get some lunch.